All right, hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome to another episode of my Vlogmas. So today I wanted to make it a little bit different. I wanted to talk about the best and worst things that have happened to you while dining out. So feel free to go and give me your experiences, good and bad, in the comments down below because I'm really interested in knowing what experiences you guys have. So aside from things like finding bugs in your food, like cockroaches and flies. One thing that really stood out for me, it's kind of like a bug related one, was I was eating at this Japanese restaurant at the Chinese Cultural Plaza years ago. And I got soba noodles. And it came out in one of these, kind of bamboo dishes. And so I looked at it, and right when I was picking up the noodles, right off to the side, there was a dried cockroach egg. And I was like, oh man, this is disgusting. It wasn't fresh. It was all dried up, and it made me think, like, do they wash the dishes? Because if they did, there wouldn't be that dried roach egg there. Or maybe they did wash the dishes, but it was there for so long that the roach laid an egg and the egg hatched and it's all dried up now. So that was pretty disgusting. I remember another time I was eating at a Chinese restaurant, and right when I was picking up the look fun, so I was eating from the plate for like the good 20 minutes already. So right when I picked up the look fun to go and eat it, I looked underneath, and there's like a dead roach underneath the look fun, and it was all squished. And I was like, man, there's like all this shoyu sauce on top of the dish, and I basically was like eating or getting the DNA of the roach guts in my shoyu sauce. I've also heard stories of people returning items to the kitchen because it wasn't cooked well or whatever it is. And I heard one story, and this is from the mainland. I guess the steak wasn't cooked properly, and they went and they took the steak and they threw it onto the bathroom floor, and then they went to go and grill it properly, and then they served it to the patron. And I was like, man, this is kind of hard to believe that stuff like that happens at restaurants. But I don't know, like, I've never worked in a restaurant before. I make so many like food videos. A part of me is like, man, maybe I should go and work in a restaurant to see what it's like. But I think for me, the worst experience I ever had was when I first started making these food videos. And like what I said earlier in my other videos, was that I make these videos to go and support small local businesses. And periodically I would do like your big franchise place like McDonald's or whatever it is. And I remember I went into this one restaurant. I'm not going to drop names, but I walked in and I got permission from the owner to go and film. I was like, I want to go and support your business. Is it okay if I film, like, the pictures on the wall and whatever it is? And they're like, yeah, go right ahead. So while I'm filming, this person, the cook, comes rushing out of the kitchen and he starts swearing at me, dropping all of these profanities. And I was caught off guard because I was like, man, like, what's going on? Like, I'm just over here trying to help film, and I got permission as well. And this guy was just going off on me. And then the owner had to go and push the guy back into the kitchen and told him to shut up. Like, he was dropping F-bombs and all this kind of stuff. And I was just so turned off from it that I ended up paying for the food, and I ended up calling my friend up and I gave it to her to eat because I was so disappointed. And I was just so like sad that something like that happened to somebody who's trying to help, that I just couldn't eat the food. So I just gave all like $100 worth of food away to my friend to eat. So hopefully they enjoyed the food. But I think the best thing that happened to me, well, the thing that stood out the most for me, the good thing is there's this guy who, I was in Vegas. And I had a brand new phone. I didn't know how to set it up. So the server actually helped me set up the phone. He was like, I got this phone too. Let me help you set it up. So he like showed me how to use it. He helped me set it up. And aside from like helping me set the phone up and teaching me like all these like cool things about the phone, the service at the restaurant was really good as well. He was very attentive and he seemed like he really enjoyed his job. So that really stood out to me, and I was just so impressed with his service that I gave him 100% tip. So the bill came out to like $100, and then I tipped him $100. And I was just like really appreciative of that. So that's some of the experiences that I went through, good and bad. Feel free to use the comments down below and tell me the good and bad experiences that you guys had. And try your best to not go and out the restaurant. I know sometimes it's really tempting to go and say so-and-so did this or did that, but try to just give me your experiences without the restaurant names. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow.